Hey there, prosperity practitioners. Brandon Hanley here, and I wanted to do a quick tutorial on how to apply some different settings to your podcast or your audio for videos using Audacity. And what we're going to do is we're going to normalize, we're going to level out some of our sound, we're going to compress it to give a little bit more oomph to it, and we're also going to add a little bass to it. And so what we're going to do here is I'm going to pop open one of my recent podcasts that we did the prosperity practice on. And what I want to do is let's take a listen right now. We'll do it at...
Today should be, actually this will be my day. Today will be, it'll be 208 million that I spent mine on. And
so it doesn't sound too bad. It doesn't sound great though. It doesn't sound exactly the way I want it to. And listen, to be honest with you, I'm driving around in my truck and listening, talking to my phone there. So if we take a look right now at the waveforms, we can see that, I think the compression right there is this lighter blue on the inside. And then we also see some spots that are tapped out, like up top here, like right up in here. And we want to fix some of that. It's peaked out too much, and that's not something that's desirable in the audio world. So let's go ahead and take a look here. The first thing we want to do is we want to come to the equalization, and we want to add a little bass here. So I mean, we can move this here, move this there, move it around a little bit, maybe even bring it up a little bit over here. And then we want to get rid of a little bit of the treble, right? So we drop these down here, same thing. And we're going to say okay. Allow that to apply. Yeah, look at that. We got a nice sound in there. So let's check somewhere else.
the fact that on the bottom of each of these emails, you can get your own word.
So we got a little bit more bass there and sound a little bit better. Next thing I want to do is I want to add some compression. And if we check out over here on Buzzsprout, best sounding audio for podcasts, they recommend and they tell you that the compressor helps to produce consistent audio levels throughout your recording. So let's check that out. And they also recommend that you stick it around -10 to -16 dB. This is at -12 dB, and they said to go ahead and just leave everything else as is. So let's check it out. We'll set that in there. And watch over here around the 9-minute and 10-minute area where that's going to reduce a lot of that peakage and a lot of that, what they'll call is clipping on the top over there. Check it out over here.
Harmony. The affirmation again. Money and spirituality can coexist in harmony. Say it with feeling. Day number 23, second.
So there we go with that. And the final one I want to do is I always like to normalize it. And normalization again, it sets the thresholds here for -1 dB and also 1 dB on the top here. So come over here. I'm going to run the normalization. There we go. So now I finally got everything kind of the way I want it right now.
Spirituality can coexist in harmony. Say it with feeling. Day number 23.
Finally, I'm going to have to export this. Come over here. I want to export it. I like using variable. And I'm going to export it as day number 23. We'll say 023. Come over here to save. And then there's also the metadata tags. So that when you hover over it, what's it going to tell you? What the album title is, track number, year, etc. I haven't put 2019. We'll put that in there. I also like to put the comments. Come visit me at my website. I'm going to set that as the default. I'm going to say okay. Actually, you know what? If I'm going to do this, is set it as default. So what's going to happen is, all right, do that, set as default. So that's how you go ahead and you use some of these effects to get some better sounding audio for your podcast. Now, look, your mileage may vary. Go ahead and set it up any way that you want. so you get the sound that you like and however it sounds best for you, and don't really worry about what everybody else is saying or what everything else looks like. That being said, so that was a lot of button clicking, a lot of button pushing, and let's say that you've got a lot of these files. Well, they have this thing called chains, and what chains are is basically like macros. That is, it steps you through it. So what we did earlier, and I'll go ahead and I'll create this again. I'll say MP3 output bass podcast, and we're going to create a chain. So the first thing that we did was we did some equalization. Let's check the parameters. Awesome, the parameters that we'd already used have already been saved, so let's say OK, and let's add that in there, and let's insert another one. The next thing we did was compression, so let's check the parameters. Parameters stayed the same. Let's say OK. I want to keep those parameters. Let's put that in there too. I did normalization. Let's check the parameters there. Again, they have stayed the same as what was just used. Say OK. Then finally, we exported it as an MP3. Export as MP3. Say OK. And then awesome. Look, we just created a chain, right? So all these steps that we did, and we want to save it, right? So we say OK. And then what we want to do next is we want to use that chain. So we say, all right, chains. Let's apply chains. Which one did we just do? MP3 output for bass with podcast, and let's apply it to this current project. Now, like I was saying earlier, so what you can do with this is you can have a bunch of files, and you can apply these chains to all the files that you've got going on. So what you see right there, it's going through the process. It's applying the chains. Right now it's applying the compressor, normalizing, and finally it's exporting with the last save settings. And like I said, I like to save mine with VBR. Don't ask me why. I just it saves some space, and it's kind of like it uses the best quality at the right times, right? It's a little bit more automatic than as if you just stay static. So I like the dynamic attitude of that. But that's it, guys. That's how you can adjust your audio and some of the settings that you want to adjust your audio with, and then create chains, and then apply chains. And like I said, let's say that you want to apply chains to multiple files. Come over here. We say, all right, we've got prosperity practice day number 29. And we've got this Science of Getting Rich chapters 4, 7, 11, and 14 with binaurals. Also an awesome one. If you want that, reach out to me and I'll hook you up. So anyways, say open, and it just gets to work. And I'm going to stop it here, but basically these changes are going to apply to the files in there. And then whatever directory you selected these files from, Audacity is going to create a folder called clean, and all the files will be in there. Take it easy, guys.